In a peaceful village, surrounded by rolling hills, sparkling rivers, and tall, ancient trees, there lived a dog named Max. Max was not like other dogs. He was strong, energetic, and proud of himself. Every morning, he would trot through the village streets, greeting humans, barking cheerfully at other animals, and showing off his shiny coat and quick reflexes. Max loved attention. He loved when villagers praised him for his speed or when the other dogs watched in awe as he leaped over fences or chased butterflies with unmatched grace. But more than anything, Max loved things that were bigger, shinier, and more valuable than what he already had. His best friend, Bella, a clever little dog who loved puzzles and games, often warned him, "Max, sometimes it's better to enjoy what you already have than chase after more." Max would laugh. "What's the fun in small things, Bella? Life is about getting the best, the biggest, the most exciting." And with that, he would dash off, nose in the air, ready for the next adventure. One bright morning, Max wandered near the riverbank. The sunlight danced on the water, and the gentle wind carried the scent of grass and flowers. As he sniffed around, his eyes caught something unusual, half buried in the mud, a large, perfectly shaped bone. Max's tail wagged furiously. "Finally! Something worthy of me," he barked. He dug it out carefully, examining every curve and edge. It was bigger than any bone he had ever seen. Max picked it up with pride and paraded it through the village, showing every dog he met. "Look at this bone. Isn't it magnificent?" Max announced. Other dogs admired it. Some wagged their tails in envy, while the cats, perched on walls, flicked their tails in silent approval. Max felt a surge of pride. He had never owned anything so grand. But little did he know, a lesson was already waiting for him, quietly rippling on the surface of the river. One bright morning, Max wandered near the riverbank. The sunlight danced on the water, and the gentle wind carried the scent of grass and flowers. As he sniffed around, his eyes caught something unusual, half buried in the mud, a large, perfectly shaped bone. Max's tail wagged furiously. "Finally! Something worthy of me," he barked. He dug it out carefully, examining every curve and edge. It was bigger than any bone he had ever seen. Max picked it up with pride and paraded it through the village, showing every dog he met. "Look at this bone. Isn't it magnificent?" Max announced. Other dogs admired it. Some wagged their tails in envy, while the cats, perched on walls, flicked their tails in silent approval. Max felt a surge of pride. He had never owned anything so grand. But little did he know, a lesson was already waiting for him, quietly rippling on the surface of the river. Later that afternoon, Max strolled to a quiet stretch of the river, thirsty after his morning adventures. As he bent to take a drink, he noticed something strange. A dog was staring back at him from the water. But this was no ordinary dog, it held a bone that looked even bigger than Max's. Max froze. "Who is that dog?" he wondered aloud. "And why does it have a bone bigger than mine?" The reflection moved as Max moved. Every time he lunged toward it, the image shifted. Max's heart raced. "I must have that bone. It's bigger. It's better. It's mine." He leapt at the reflection, barking furiously, trying to snatch the imaginary bone. Each jump made the water ripple, the reflection disappearing and reappearing, taunting him. In his excitement, Max forgot all about the bone he already had in his mouth, which was slowly slipping into the river. Underscore 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 underscore. Max's attempts became frantic. He jumped, pawed at the water, and growled at the reflection, thinking it was a rival. The river splashed around him, the sunlight glinting off droplets like tiny diamonds. Birds squawked and flew off as the commotion disturbed the peace of the afternoon. Still, Max didn't notice that with each jump, the bone he had worked so hard to find was slipping further. "Just a little closer," he barked. "I'll get it this time." But with one big leap, the bone slipped from his mouth and tumbled into the water, floating downstream. Max barked and tried to grab it, but the current carried it away too fast. Max stopped. His chest heaved, fur wet and eyes wide. For the first time that day, he realized he had lost the one thing he already owned. Max sat by the riverbank, watching the last glimpse of the bone disappear around a bend. A deep sadness filled his chest. He had been so focused on something imaginary, something that didn't even exist, that he had lost what was real and precious. Bella appeared, her small face filled with concern. "Max, are you okay?" Max shook his head. "No, Bella. I chased after something that wasn't real, and now I've lost what I already had." "Sometimes we chase after things we think are better," Bella said gently. "But the best things are the ones we already hold. You had a wonderful bone, Max. You should have been happy with it." Max's ears drooped. I understand now," he whispered. Even the villagers noticed the change in Max. The proud, boastful dog had become quiet and thoughtful. For days, Max stayed by the river, thinking. He thought about the reflection in the water, about the bone he had lost, and about the lesson he had ignored for so long. "I was so greedy," he admitted to himself. "I wanted something bigger, better, shinier, but all I needed was right in front of me." An old dog, Rufus, approached Max one morning. Rufus had lived in the village for many years and had seen many young dogs make the same mistake. "Max," Rufus said kindly, "what you chased was an illusion. What you lost was real. Remember this, happiness comes not from having the most, but from appreciating what you already have." Max listened carefully, nodding. "I will remember, Rufus. I promise." From that day forward, Max changed. He no longer bragged or chased after bigger things just for the sake of pride. When he found a treat, he enjoyed it fully, savoring every bite. When he played with other dogs, he shared his toys instead of hoarding them. He became known as a wise, patient dog in the village. Other dogs looked up to him, and the villagers admired his newfound humility. Even when Max saw reflections in the water again, he didn't jump or chase. Instead, he smiled, remembering the lesson he had learned the hard way. Max's story became a favorite among the villagers. Parents told it to their children, emphasizing the importance of contentment, patience, and wisdom. Max learned 4 important lessons that day. 1. Greed clouds judgment. Wanting more can make you blind to what you already have. 2. Impulsive actions have consequences. Acting without thinking can lead to loss. 3. Cherish what you possess. The real treasure is often right in front of you. 4. Wisdom comes from mistakes. Learning from error is the key to growth. And so, Max lived happily in the village, enjoying simple pleasures, sharing with friends, and appreciating every bone, every sunny morning, and every wag of his tail. Sometimes, when he looked at his reflection in the river, he didn't see a rival or a bigger prize. He saw himself, happy, content, and wise, a dog who had learned a lesson he would never forget.